Hey there, darling, welcome to the scene. Ladies, pitch on the mic, we're living the dream.
Haiti baby in the house, bringing sultry vibes from NYC's heartbeat. Watch the magic thrive. Tay ladies pitch, where the queens light the fire. Whispers and wisdom, taking you higher. Sassy and classy, we're breaking the mold. Tune in, turn up, let the stories unfold. In the city that glows, we're making it hot. Queens lifting queens, giving all that we got. Every episode to tease, every guest a delight. Join us on this journey, let's dance through the night. Let the ladies pitch. Where the queens like fire, whispers and wisdom, taking you higher. Sassy and classy, we're breaking the mold. Tune in, turn up, let the stories unfold. So slip on those headphones, let's vibe and connect. With Haiti baby leading, it's all about respect. On that welcome to the show where the sparks ignite. Ladies pitch is live, let's turn up the night. Let the ladies pitch.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Ladies Pitch Podcast. I am your favorite mommy, Haiti baby here. Hope everyone that is watching, every viewer, a listener, hope everyone is doing great. Hope everyone is in great spirits. If you're not, you know what I tell you each and every week. Hopefully you will be by the end of this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms. I am on Instagram at Ladies Pitch and the YouTube handle at Ladies Pitch. So yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend that your girl Haiti baby is back again. All right. So nothing new has been going on. I wanted to create this episode because I recently rewatched the Lamar Odom doc, which is called The Death and Life of Lamar Odom. It's actually pretty creepy title, but I get it. You know, it's like his death, his near-death experience, and then his life after his near-death experience, which is no different. If you have not seen it, there are going to be some spoilers. And if you haven't, then maybe you would want to check it out for yourself and kind of just like let me know your POV on it, your perspective. But I must say that as a person who was once a fan, a supporter, should I say, of that love, because I'm such a hopeless romantic, you know, I'm just like, when people find love, when people think that they really found their true love, you know, I kind of just like, I'm all for it. I don't care like how insane it might sound. It's like, oh my God, you got married after 30 days. Like, I would really support someone. I would kind of tell them like, yo, be careful, but I'll be supportive of it. Like, I am supportive of crazy, insane shit like that when it comes to love, right? Says a lot about my love life. But anywho, yeah, I'm just like, supportive of crazy stuff like that. So I love that for her when it first happened. I'm like, oh shit, like Chloe's always been more of like the edgy one, you know, like when the Kardashians first came on the scene. She was more of like the edgy one, more of the outspoken one, you know, kind of the honest one. So I liked her. She was actually my favorite one at some point. So when they got married and they got together and then their TV show came out, I was like, oh my God, they are so cute. Like, oh my God, it's just so cute. I want my Lamar Odom, blah, 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 you know? So a lot of the things that went on around that time, they covered in the doc. So Khloe Kardashian was a big part of the documentary. Now, I must say, a lot of the things that they touched on, I just wasn't aware that he was just that type of man. He just gave off very arrogant. He gave off very selfish. In some points, he came out very manipulative. Okay. So just to touch on a little bit of, you know, my perspective as a viewer watching this doc, right? That's kind of like the feel that I got from this. First things first. He claims that when he first met Khloe, first thing on his mind was that he wanted to fuck. Cool, bad. You're a man. We get it. Kind of like what men want when they first meet an attractive woman, right? They want to fuck. Anywho, guess that's what they did. And then they just kept hanging out every day. After that, hanging out, right? So he proposed after 30 days of knowing her, Not of exclusively dating, not, oh, boyfriend. No, 30 days after he met her, he proposed. They got married. None of his family attended the wedding. His kids with his first girlfriend did not attend the wedding. Only one that attended the wedding was like a childhood friend of his or whatever. So, everybody was kind of like, what are you doing? Like, this is very quickly. Like, you don't even know her, whatever. So, there were a lot of naysayers or whatever. They got married anyway, okay? The whole Chloe and Lamar TV reality show was his idea. Because in his mind, and this came out of his mouth during the doc, he saw it like a combination of power. Khloe Kardashian, a Kardashian, him, Lamar Odom, a Laker, combining lives, and the power dynamics was like a fucking ego trip for him. Which is crazy that even came out of his mouth, that he even admitted that. I would have taken that to the grave. Because that says a lot about your character. But, whatever. Holly weird is weird. So, whatever. Okay, so they created this reality show that circulated around their marriage, them living together, their home. Chloe is kind of expressing in the doc that to her it wasn't a very good idea because she kind of wanted to enjoy Lamar, enjoy the marriage, and she's kind of a private person, and she didn't want paparazzi, not paparazzi, but she didn't want the cameras in her house 24/7 recording this show. But Lamar wanted it. She loves Lamar. She wanted to give him what he wanted. Bad. They did the show. Everything was great around the show, he was still a Laker. She still had all these different projects going on. What we didn't know, what she kind of revealed, is that he was already doing cocaine around that time. But to her, she kind of saw it like he was still a functioning addict. He wasn't fucking up. He wasn't disappearing. He was still being him. The only thing was that he had a coke habit. As a person who grew up around drug addicts and grew up around alcoholics and addicts in general, girl, no. Girl, no. They kind of always spiral in one way or another. They end up spiraling. Now, the only thing that I would say, kind of saved Lamar at that time was the fact that he was rich. He had his own money, so he could support his own habit. But Chloe, girl, best believe if he would have ran into money problems, if he would have been owing people money, he would have really showed you his crackhead ass side. Okay? A crackhead would steal from their own mama to support their habits. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, so she viewed him as a functioning addict, right? He started disappearing for days on end. She was roaming the streets, looking for Lamar, going to these hotels, going to motels, going places, and having to get him. You know what I mean? Like having to go get him, go and clean out hotel rooms, pay off people so they don't sell a story. Like she was really covering for him. She legitimately said on the doc that one day a woman called her. He had disappeared and a woman called her from a motel and was like, can you come get your husband because he is on this drug trip and I need to get off this ride. Like I can't get high anymore. All he wants to do is do drugs, spend money. Like I don't want to do this. Can you come get him? Which is insane because let me tell you something. TMZ would have been all over that story if that was me, because I would have fucked you up right there in that fucking hotel room. Like I would have fucked your ass up. Chloe better than me. Chloe way better than me. But anyway, that kind of was the beginning of, listen, he's got a fucking problem. He's got an addiction. Now it's not just, functioning and shit like that. Now he's got a legit problem. So she decided to do an intervention, The interventionist told her, like, you kind of have to give him an ultimatum. Give him an ultimatum. Either he goes to rehab, gets some help, goes away for 90 days, or you're going to divorce him. Bet. What did Chloe do? But the people that, love Lamar, put him together, confronted him, kind of gave him that ultimatum. He was like, where do I sign? Where do I sign? Not let me try to do what I can to help myself so I don't lose my wife, so my life doesn't spiral out of control. I love my wife. I love myself, most importantly. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked so hard to get. No. He said, where do I sign the divorce papers? Okay. What happened? They signed, right? Divorce ain't finalized yet. Few days later, motherfucker goes to the Bunny Ranch, Las Vegas, okay? Pops, I don't know how many gas station pills for ED, okay? Ended up going into a fucking seizure, ended up having 12 strokes, okay? Ended up having, I don't know how many cardiac arrests, but he ends up hanging on to dear life. The man was on the brink of death. Who was there for him? Who was there for him at the hospital every day, put her life on hold? You guessed it, Khloe Kardashian. His estranged wife, okay? It was so crazy at the hospital that she said that they needed to have cops because he had drug dealers coming to visit him that were like asking for money. She claims that his dad, even though they were on the verge of divorce, she was still legally his wife. So she made the decisions when it came to whether, pulling the plug or not. So his father, according to Khloe Kardashian, wanted to pull the plug. His father was like, yeah, no, he's not going to make it. So, just pull the plug, whatever. And she was like, listen, Joe, that's his father's name. Listen, Joe, like, this is still my husband. Like, I still want them to do everything that they can to save him. Like, no, we're going to keep him alive. She was like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? The father was like, all I want is a pair of sneakers, $100, and a room to stay for the night. Like, he comes from a line of ain't shit motherfuckers. Ain't shit selfish, self-centered motherfuckers. Like, that's where he comes from. And it's sad. It's sad to even hear that. And I know for Lamar, that shit has to be heartbreaking. Like, it has to be hard to hear that this is something that your father wanted to do. Your father didn't care about saving you. He wanted $100, a pair of sneakers, and a hotel room for the night. That's crazy. Anywho, Khloe did what she could to bring him back, rehabilitate him. He survived after being in a coma for X amount of time. He was released from the hospital. He was like a baby. He needed to learn how to do everything all over again. He couldn't feed himself. He couldn't remember things. He couldn't hold a spoon. Like, she was there for him every step of the way, making sure that he got all of the help that he needed. She got him a place. She got him a place to live. She got him like a chef. She got him a nurse. All of this shit, she's helping him. Like, what happens one day? Khloe comes home. She smells crack. And if, anyone knows the smell of crack, like Khloe said on the doc, it has a very distinct smell, like a very awful smell. You can't even describe it, but it's just like, once you know that that's the smell of crack, like, when you smell it, like, yeah, that's crack, right? So she knew. She came home. She goes, she's going up to his room. At this point, she's saying that he can't even talk. She's like, he could only really say like, but he can't have like a conversation. She goes up to the room and he's smoking crack, and she lost it. Like, she swung on him. Like, she was like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, you need to leave by Monday, blah, blah, blah. She comes to find out that he was actually doing a lot better in his recovery than he was making it out to be. He had a cell phone, which she didn't even know. He had a cell phone. He had drug dealers come to the house to sell him crack. Like, I just cannot. Like, my mans, you almost lost your, like, you were at death's front door. Literally, it was knocking at your front door. Okay, and she brought you back to life. Of course, the doctors, the help of doctors and all that, but she literally was there for you every step of the way. And that's such a disrespect for you to just like, she gives you this home for you to live in, for you to recover. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure in her mind, she wanted to work on the marriage because you guys were still legally married. It wasn't finalized. You know what I mean? I'm sure somewhere in her mind, she still loved you. She was still clinging on to hope that, you know what, this experience would have brought you guys closer together, you know? And I'm speaking from being a woman. You know what I mean? Like, when you go through something like that with someone that you love, you think that, you know, it's going to bring you guys closer together. But what happens is that with a man like Lamar, because he showed you from the very beginning who he was and the type of man that he was, that was not a possibility. And it's sad to say, because after all of that, even him talking on the dock, he just seemed like he was just so super selfish. Like, you had to ask yourself, and I'm pretty sure, you know, years have passed since they've separated, they've been divorced, but this has to open old wounds for Chloe, because it's like, who are you? Who was I with? Who was I married to? Because him doing promo for this entire doc, he's been kind of just not even singing her praises anymore. You know what I mean? Now he's kind of like, oh yeah, because of God. Like, yeah, okay, fine, because of God, if that's what you believe. Yeah, because of God, you're still here. But also because of her, you were able to make it and push through. Like, sir, you have something that a lot of crackheads, and this sounds crazy, you had something that a lot of crackheads don't have, and that is a support system, which is very important in recovery, which is very important for an addict to have when they're trying to get clean, right? No, he just disregarded all of that and was just like, yeah, because of God. And yeah, I didn't believe what Chloe said about my dad. Like, yo, the audacity. And this is what I'm saying about a lot of men. Like, the audacity that they just be having to like let certain things come out of their mouths is just, it is disgusting. It is truly, truly, truly disgusting. And I just see him in a whole different other light. Like, yo, Lamar, you are sad. You are very, very sad. You're gonna die alone. Like, because it just shows that you don't love anyone. You don't even love your kids enough to want to be better. You don't even love your kids. You don't even love yourself. How about that? You don't love yourself to even want to get better, because at the end of this doc, like, it didn't show anything. It didn't show him, oh, his sobriety journey. It didn't show him, you know, kind of like, yeah, this happened to me and this happened with Chloe, but you know what? My life's on track. Like, I'm doing this and I'm so. No, it's showing that you're still a crackhead, that you're still on drugs. And listen, I get it. I get it. I am a child of my dad was a drug addict at some point, right? When I was growing up, he was heavy into drugs and drinking. And I understand that it's hard. It can be hard. But yo, you just don't do shit like that. Like, you just don't go around and just discrediting and just disrespecting the people that were there for you when you were at your lowest. You know how hard it is for someone to stick by an addict? You know how hard it is to be there and show up and love someone unconditionally, even though they are just consistently disrespecting you and just making you feel like shit? It's hard as fuck. It is hard. And this doc was a hard watch, because everything that even kind of just like came out after the doc was released, like, it was just disgusting and just shows that he's a loser. And ladies, this is why you can't feel sorry for your exes. That, like, when your exes do you dirty, don't feel bad for them. Don't feel bad for how their lives turn out. You know, like, you gotta just be like, yo, this is the bed that you made. This is your karma. Like, you gotta just write it out. Like, that's not my problem. Like, you gotta protect yourself and be like, ain't my problem, boy. Like, figure that out on your own. I ain't gonna be here for you to figure it out. Like, can't do it. You can't have that soft spot. You can't have that soft spot for motherfuckers that have showed you time and time again, that they do not give a fuck about you. This is when you have to practice being a selfish person. Be selfish, because I understand having a good heart, which is what Chloe displayed, and just being, that kind of person. But yo, like, after he did what he did, I wouldn't have even been a part of the doc, to be honest. I wouldn't have been a part of that doc. Like, he showed no redemption. His story ended, the doc ended just like, okay, what now? What are you doing to better yourself? How has your life turned around since you nearly died? Having that type of near-death experience, my mans, you should have been leading a different life. I'm sorry. You didn't learn your lesson. You ain't grow from it. You ain't nothing. And it's sad. It's sad to see. But, like I said, it was just a reminder in life, fuck your exes. Especially if they did you dirty. Like, we ain't doing that. But if you haven't watched it, if you're interested, if you're interested in the Kardashians, or just just to watch it, and let me know what you think. But that was my take on that. And yeah, it is on Netflix, and it is called The Death and Life of Lamar Odom. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. Don't forget, like and subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms. I am on YouTube at Ladies Pitch, and on Instagram at Ladies Pitch. All right, so I will see you on the next one.